didn't see that guy. They just dropped it off.
You're saying like you're gonna see that, make sure you'll know your family's good. As soon as you do it, you'll know your things that you need to do to continue on the right path for your future. You'll know things maybe you make mistakes. And he also said that, what else did he say after that? He said that it's not gonna make us shit, but it'll make us vomit. If we have bad things in our stomach, it's gonna make us puke.
Okay.
But
I mean, we could have eaten.
no, because I mean that stuff would come out and it would be worse. I think it just needs to eat your versus fasted. Okay. Gotcha. I'm really bad to take care of us the whole time. Help us. If we need to vomit, he'll help us. If we need to go to the bathroom, he'll take us to the bathroom. Like everything. I'm not sure. I don't know if they can because they might be not in the right mind state.
So it sounds like the shaman is really looking out for us. He looks the part, he sounds the part. I'm much more comfortable about this. And if I can make it across this bridge of death,
I hate this
everything will be great. So as I said, this is the village we were at earlier in the day. This is where we canoed from, and this is where we had the traditional dance ceremonies and saw the blow dart sampling. It's really neat to be able to spend the night in a traditional Ecuadorian village and have the ayahuasca ceremony within that. It's kind of doesn't make it feel so commercialized. It makes it feel legit. And it's a little nerve-wracking now. We're getting close to the time, and game on. We haven't eaten anything today, nothing but water. Yesterday was mostly water and a little bit of fruit, and a small breakfast of like a little bit of bread and some eggs. And the day before that, same thing. So. And actually the day before that, so basically 4 days of very limited diet brought us to this point here. So this is not a rash on my face. This is that war paint I had on. It's kind of blotchy right now, but this is where we will be staying tonight, and this is where the ayahuasca ceremony will be happening. Amazon River right there, jungle behind us, and it's a nice traditional hut, thatched roof, and this is where we're gonna call home for tonight. So we're just getting set up, getting all our stuff prepared, and they've told us to just kind of enjoy ourselves for the next little while. And once everything is ready, they'll come and get us and it will all begin. So we're just going to kind of take it easy for a bit, and then it begins. It's getting to be time. Gonna go get changed and get ready now. And soon, once this last bit of sun behind me goes down, the ceremony begins. Time to go. This is the ayahuasca cooking right here over the fire. Soon we'll be ingesting it. Who knows where we'll go. I'm very excited for what we're about to do. Muchas
If he
gracias.
says something like,
Bueno, primero vamos a limpiar,
see, we're gonna clean.
limpio, después de limpiar, tienen una corona muy dura, voy a soplar,
Okay.
¿ya? Soplo, de ahí van a tomar el ayahuasca.
Okay, so he's gonna do a clean. Corona is like, you know,
Go.
the king. How your crown. Your crown.
Okay.
So he's gonna apply pressure
So-
to the crown. You have a
At this point,
carry crop.
the shaman
Crown.
is explaining to us how the ceremony is going to happen, what he's going to do during the ceremony, and how he can help us if we
Dure con
need
el
anything,
ayahuasca.
and go into the bathroom or otherwise. Whatever we need, he's there for us. So he's explaining that to us at this point, and then he asks that the lights be turned off. Or just aimed away. So I tried to bounce it off the wall so you'd still be able to see. As you can see, that's not how it worked out. You can't really see what's going on at all. So I'll kind of walk you through what's happening here, even though it sounds weird. So what you hear right now is the sounds the shaman had in his hand, like a bouquet of, it was like branches with leaves on it still, as well as these like little beads made from beans and stuff, and seeds. And so he's shaking it all around your head. And he's doing it super fast, shaking it everywhere. And since it's dark and you can't see, you just hear the audio of that all around your head. Now, as it's happening, it sounds like rain and birds' wings and just the sounds of the jungle, really, or of like a forest and the wind going through it and the birds flying around and just everything going on. And then he starts whistling. And he's whistling a traditional song. And you're just focusing on the sounds as they're going all around your head. And you haven't had a sip of anything yet, but already you're feeling a little disoriented. After the whistling, he begins singing the traditional song with his voice. And again, it's while still shaking all around your head. And this, it makes you even more disoriented, and you're getting into the trance of it. You're just you have your eyes closed, all of these sounds are happening all around you, and you're focusing on his voice, and you start to feel entranced by the whole thing. Now he goes back to the whistling, and this is right before it starts to take a turn. After this set of whistling, the phase where in the beginning he was talking about pressure on your crown, and the crown is heavy, and he was going to apply pressure to the crown. And the crown, he's meaning literally the crown of your head. And so he takes his hands and he puts pressure on the top. And you start hearing these noises, and then... Did he just spit on my head? I think he just spit on my head. Now it sounds like he's spitting on your head, but he's not. What he's actually doing there, this part represents he's opening your mind, and he's opening your mind, and he's taking out the darkness and the negativity and the demons, if you will. And he's taking them out, taking them upon him. And then the camera dies. So I knew the camera was going to die. I was hoping it was going to make it through at least the ayahuasca consuming and then the beginning of what happens after that. But it didn't. We're in the middle of the jungle, the Amazon. There's not a lot of... It's a native village. There's no power. There was nowhere to plug in. We were staying in a wooden hut, a thatched hut. So it died. But what I can tell you about the experience after the camera shut off is he went down the line. He performed that same ceremony on all three of us. At the end of it, he gets us all to stand up and go to... We were all just sitting right in front of our beds. So he tells us, stand up and go lie in your bed. I'm gonna backtrack for a second. There was some preparation involved before we did this ceremony. Not only with the diet, which we've spoken about already, it's very important to, well, basically fast. The less you can eat, the better. The less you can drink, the better. The more you consume, the higher percentage of chance that you may, that you will end up purging. I'm not going to go into detail about the purge or what I mean when I say that. I think you know what I mean. You're vomiting, your bowels explode. It's not pleasant. Fortunately, we took it very seriously. We fasted for about 4 days, I think, leading up to it, because we had looked into the experience before doing it and knew that that was something that was very important. So we did the fast, and one of us did have a bad experience with the purge. It can be very extreme, but I will say this. Even in the worst scenario, where you're just the whole time reacting to the ayahuasca itself and just purging, and your body's rejecting it, even in that scenario, still there's you take something important away from it. It wasn't all bad, and he left with a positive experience. One other thing we did to prepare that was very important is we went into it with an intention. Now, I don't know... You watching this video, I don't know what you know or do not know about ayahuasca or what you believe about ayahuasca. It's not like some cartoon psychedelic experience. It's not... I didn't find it to be overwhelming or overbearing in any way. The way I kind of could best describe it is it was a conversation, and it could have been a conversation with myself. It could have been a conversation with a higher power. It could have been a conversation with nature or with the universe. I don't know. I don't know who the conversation was with, but there was a conversation. And before I went into this experience, I had an intention of things I wanted to work my way through. So for me, it was certain behavioral things and just kind of overarching, where am I going? What's my direction right now? Could I have worked my way through all that without ayahuasca? Absolutely, but you're at the Life Is Now Here channel. I love experience. I want to experience what the world has to offer, and a traditional plant medicine ceremony with a shaman. A shaman? Shaman? Yeah, shaman. A traditional experience with a shaman in the Amazon was something I wanted to experience, and I'm glad that I did. As I said, I didn't find it overwhelming at all. I just found it to be very enlightening. I was shown things that I needed to see, and at no point did I find it scary or intimidating or anything like that. I'm not saying that can't happen. The shaman, after the camera died, he went down all three of us. Then, as he's doing that, he's gauging you. He's judging how much you need and how much he wants to give you in order to help you work through the ceremony. So everybody gets an amount, and it's an amount that he's decided is the right amount for you, and you drink that amount. After that, then you get on the bed, and that's when you start experiencing the more psychedelic aspect of it. And for me, I was in control the whole time. There were times where I could see how it could be a dark experience if you don't go into it with an intention. And I also went into it with like a centering thought. Every time I felt my mind start to wander and I thought, this direction could go somewhere I don't really want to go, I would bring myself back to that centering thought that I went into it with. That was more in line with what I wanted to work my way through. And so every time it started to veer, I'd just pull it back in and focus on that thing. And I think I would definitely recommend you do that. If this is something you're looking to experience, having an intention of what you want to work your way through, as well as a centering thought to pull yourself back to anytime your mind starts to wander, your mind starts to wander, is very helpful. At least it was for me. Might be for you. I hope it is. The ayahuasca continued to have an effect on us until 3 or 4 in the morning, and then finally you just pass out from exhaustion. And we woke up the next morning, and this is what we had to say.
We survived.
We're alive.
We'll talk about it later. But we never did actually end up talking about it. And the reason for that is things took a dramatic turn that we didn't expect. You know what? I'm going to hold that thought. I'm going to continue on with that in the next video. That's it for this video. I really appreciate you watching this. I hope you liked it. If you do, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it if you share it. If there's someone you know that might enjoy the video, give it a share. Hit the subscribe. Always hit that subscribe. I really appreciate every one of you that does. And stay tuned for the next video where I tell you, left turn everything. I think I need to grease the chair. The left turn everything took the next day. So we'll get into that next time. Thanks for watching. Again, hit that subscribe. We'll see you next time.